We're thrilled to have Marcus Wells, a new guest to the YouAttest Audit Tuesday video series. So Marcus is an expert in IT security, and he's also the CEO of Wellsecured IT, a consulting firm that leverages his experience in the compliance world. We also have Garrett, who's the CEO of YouAttest, to join the discussion. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Greetings, Ashley.
First question to you, Marcus. What is a traditional asset management audit?
That's a great question. So a traditional asset management audit is a process an organization is going to take a physical account of each asset that they own and manage. This process can include documenting any relevant details of those assets, the location of those assets, and also the condition of those assets. Now, ideally, the company should have an asset system of record that is maintained and updated to ensure information accurately reflects the number and type of assets held by that organization.
Interesting. And do these asset inventories often include an inventory of identities?
Unfortunately, no, they do not. And it's something that many organizations should definitely keep in mind, as identities are very important in terms of the overall security of an organization.
What are the ramifications of this, Garrett?
Yeah, so here we got Marcus intelligently says companies are spending time, spending effort. Let me find out how many routers, how many switches, how many desktops, how many, etc. Wi-Fi I have. But the most important part of the equation going forward, and I'm sure you'll agree, Marcus, is identities. At the same time, they're not inspecting the identities. And just one of the breach reports, the Verizon data breach report, says that over half, and I've seen others ones that say 65, 70% of hacks start at the credential. So that's the ramifications.
So Marcus, would you agree that including identity audits in an asset review would be a best practice?
Absolutely. I would go so far as to say that it's not only best practice, but it's a cornerstone to protecting the environments that organizations have both on premise and in the cloud.
So here's the million-dollar question. So how do most companies inventory their identities, Marcus?
So usually those organizations are involved in some sort of manual process that may include spreadsheets and or emails. And this, of course, represents some significant concerns as the quality of that information begins to degrade significantly due to how that information is being collected and stored. The effects of this approach are going to be felt at an increased level depending on the magnitude of that organization and how many users are involved.
This sounds really painful. So Garrett, what's the downfall of a manual inventory?
Well, Marcus hit on it. First of all, it's painful. It's an unbelievable waste of time, of scarce resources. I mean, no company, Marcus, is saying, wow, I've got extra IT security resources. Let me sign up some tasks that will use up their time. And the other one is I've seen reports showing that manual identity audits are fraught with errors, as much as 60% errors in a manual audit.
Wow. Marcus, what have you seen with these manual reviews being done?
So I would absolutely say Garrett is 1000% correct here. These manual efforts to manage identities within these organizations can often be riddled with inaccuracies. I would even say that 60% measurement is likely a conservative number. That it is likely even higher than that percentage for many of these organizations that are documenting their assets, and specifically their identity assets, or really any assets in that way.
And Garrett, isn't this what YouAttest has automated?
That's exactly it. This is what we have set our stake in the ground and saying, no more of this manual process, right? What we did is set this product up that the risk manager, in the small companies, that's the CISO, director of security, and in the bigger companies, it's department. A risk manager can kick off one of these access reviews through YouAttest because it directly connects to your identities and then pushes out through SSO to the review. That review could be 100 users, or Ashley, you've led projects that as many as 1,900 reviewers. That's what YouAttest has automated.
Perfect. Any closing thoughts from anyone?
Yeah, I would just say, kind of even underscoring the point that both of you have made here. This is clearly a scalable process that's kind of built into the tool that UAttest is. I think it's very important for many of these organizations. Of course, as an identity security professional myself, if anyone is interested in leveraging much of my knowledge and experience and trying to understand and remediate their risk or, mature their identity security practices, I can be reached on LinkedIn. My company page is Wellsecured IT. You can do a search. It's pretty easy to find. Alternatively, you can always email me at marcus@wellsecuredit.com. That's Marcus at WELLSECUREDIT.com.
That was literally my next question, because I know people that are that are watching this video are gonna want to reach out to you after hearing you talk. And then of course we at YouAttest can be reached at youattest.com or write us at info@youattest.com, and we can always forward over information for Marcus as well. Thank you, everyone, and thank you especially Marcus for taking the time out of your day to do this with us.
All right. Thank you for having me. This has been great.
Thank you.
Fantastic.